this time, away from politics, we are discussing something that is integral, that is critical to every Nigerian, which is effective building control and regulatory compliance. If you live in Abuja, in the last couple of months, it's been about demolition, recovering of green spaces. It's about taking out, structures that are either impeding on sewage lines or impeding on future mark spaces for future road constructions or something. And the story is the same across the country. We've had to deal with a very porous space when it comes to building regulation and compliance. We have also had to deal with quacks, having a field day across the built industry. Little wonder we have the issues of demolition. What do you call them? The issues of building coming down left, right, and center because of poor use of materials of substandard quality, or even completely the absence of professionals, in this space. And to help us do justice to this conversation this morning, we have in the studio Builder Sir Alderton Ewa, who is the national president of the Nigerian Institute of Builders, by himself also a fellow of the Institute. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good morning, and I hope Abuja is treating you just fine.
Well, we thank God we've seen a good weather today, and I believe it's fine.
Something you enjoyed every day from where you are coming from, by the way. The question of building compliance and control has been one that this country has dealt with right from independence. It just sort of appears that we are not a people to keep to standards and procedures of doing things. And with all the demolitions that are happening and everything, the kind of losses people seem to suffer, this problem never seemed to go away, especially in established cities. What's your perspective of what's going on, and what is the Institute exactly doing, to curtail the spread of this kind of crisis?
Well, let me start by saying that you've already introduced me. I want to welcome the viewers and tell them good morning. I am here to throw more light onto what you just asked. In Nigeria, we have a peculiar case that when laws are created, promulgated, people tend to use impunity to circumvent those things they are supposed to do. Most of these laws have been in place, only that we have not actually domesticated the National Building Code so that all states will be able to use that and have the urban and regional planning laws, from where we have the building control permit regulation. Hence, we move from to another one that you get the laws that specifies what each and every professional is supposed to do. Impunity, I said, well, regulations have been there. As it were, all what we need to do is for Nigerian Institute of Building, this week, in fact today, 13th of March, is being set aside for advocacy, for both compliance, reducing of quacks, doing the right thing. That is exactly why the whole institute in the country, like where I'm here now, my chapter chairmen are all over the states, still making people to understand that to build right, you have to employ professional builders. In the built environment, we have 7 professional bodies. If we don't think of too much of impunity, too much of thinking that I can do it all, allowing everybody to be involved, I don't think we will have any cause for alarm.
So where is the loophole at this point in time? Because for every time we talk about building collapse, one thing I always point out is there had to be someone that looked the other way. There had to be someone who decided to go the other way and not use the quality material. So where is the loophole? Is it the lack of availability of these professionals, or the affordability of these professionals for people who just want to build something remote and small for themselves?
I come in there once again. The loophole is just saying, why should building collapse? Look at it in that way. Why should it collapse after building? You have to think about the right professionals to do the job. You have to think about the materials. You have to make sure that you don't cut corners. First of all, a proper, well-designed structure could specify some sizes of rods, could specify that even the sand you use, aggregate, we call it fine aggregate, it must be clean. Even the water you use in mixing, it must be clean water, in fact, drinkable water. You see people, they want to cut corners, number we have mixtures that you have, because you did not employ the right professional who understands that to put one block to another block, these are the things that you need to do. Take, for instance, you design a building. The first thing is you must look for the professional you need to do. Architect will come in. It's to give you the design of the building, the architectural design. Structural designer will come, engineer. His own duty is to design the structural aspects of the building and hand it over once again. The quantity surveyor will come and will do his own job. Then by the time you complete every other drawings, including the survey plan, you will hand it over to this person who is really qualified, trained academically to do the job. But here, everybody will always think one man can do it all. The loopholes, as you're saying, is for us to be able to checkmate all this. Let us learn from today that when all these drawings are finished, that a professional builder is supposed to be at the site. To know, it is not that others might not have an idea of doing it, but it's good to allow the professional to be at the site.
Talking about the professional being at the site, one of the things anybody who has had any kind of encounter with people in the build industry would complain about is what appears to be everybody wanting to be the person who actually supervised the actual construction. The architects will come and say because they drew, they are the best people to execute what they had drawn. And so you go on site, some places you find the architects being the ones supervising these projects. At other sites you find builders and all of that. Don't you think this conflict, as it appears, sort of put the novice like us, who probably just have funds but don't know what to do, at a confusion at who is best to be having that conversation with or to have supervise your project?
That is exactly what we're saying. The confusion will still continue. But the moment, I said something about impunity. You see, when you don't feel, a time that you don't feel you are on top of it all, you will see everything moving seamlessly. When we get to places, stages like that, you allow the professionals to do the job. They can do it. An architect manage to sit down and to draw, should be able to know how things are done. But there is a stage. You see, when work is going on, at different stages, when it gets to a particular point, you call the structural engineer, come and see if what you design is exactly what the builder has done. The moment you are content with that, no, there will be no problem. At this stage, everybody will sign. There are forms these days. When you move from the ground floor to a point, you sign that everything is okay.
Proceed.
Work continues. The moment you have all the teams, you look for the electrical engineer, see if all what you have designed is in place. Architect comes with the measurements of this thing, and I think with that, things will move fine. And therein, to compliance, I said, right now, let every governor, all the governors in the country, they should duplicate national building code. so that they will be able to have urban and general planning laws. They have also have building control regulatory body. And all this, because that is where the regulatory body, that is where they spell out the functions of different professionals. They will tell you a builder is when so this is what a builder will do, this is what a town planner will do, this is what, and you see everything. Let me tell us one thing. We keep on mentioning Lagos State as the peak of building collapse. Mention sometime, Abuja. Mention Anambra or River. There are so many states that you hardly hear building collapse. That doesn't mean that building cannot collapse there. But I think in such states, things are done in
fairly moderate manner.
A fairly controlled something, but it will still happen. In such states, I still want in advocacy that governors in those states, they should not think, oh, we are relaxed. Anything can happen at any time. Because we have so many quacks. Quacks are giving us problems in this country.
All right, I wish we had time to continue to interrogate this issue. There's so much happening. The president is also addressing a press conference I'm aware much later this morning. But that's the much that time would allow us to take. We have been talking with Alderton Ewa, who is the national president of the Nigerian Institute of Building. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning in the studio, and we look forward to future engagement where we can continue to dissect the issues around the built industry and the way forward.
Thank you very much.
And have a great day ahead.
I'll be happy to come back.